It's funny because there's going to be kind of a lot of Ohtani first at bats.
And then about 15 minutes later, the Dodgers made the announcement on Twitter with a link to buy tickets, specifically focusing on the first three spots in the order. What are you expecting to see?
皆さん、こんにちは、こんばんは、MLB 翻訳忍者です。本日は2024年2月26日に米国で放送された大谷翔平に関するニュースを1本ご紹介します。アリゾナ州で行われている春季キャンプでは MLB のオープン戦が開幕。大谷のデビューに注目が集まっており、ロバーツ監督からは
大谷の出場は2月26日の週の半ばだよ
と明言されていましたが、ドジャースの公式ツイッターで大谷が現地時間の27日の火曜日に出場することが明かされました。大谷の出場予定を受けてドジャース専門番組では期待や打順の議論など大盛り上がりの様子です。また山本も28日か29日に登板すると予想されており、日本人2人に注目が集められています。それでは大谷デビューに対するアメリカ番組の反応を日本語字幕付きでご覧ください。
So, all right. Well, like I said, the big news and the headline for tonight is that Shohei Ohtani is going to play his first game for the Dodgers. It's coming on Tuesday against the White Sox. That, of course, they share Camelback Ranch. The Dodgers will be the home team for the game. Daniel, how big of a moment do you think Ohtani's, first, since he is going to DH, he's not playing the field or pitching, obviously. So his first at bat with the Dodgers, and it is just spring training, but how much excitement do you think is going to be in the stadium that day?
It's funny because there's going to be kind of a lot of Ohtani first at bats. Like he's going to have this one in spring training. Then he's technically his first actual at bat as a Dodger's going to come over in South Korea. And then he's going to have, of course, his first Dodger Stadium regular season at bat. So there's going to be a lot of firsts. And obviously, they're all going to, there's going to be a lot of hype surrounding them. I think as far as like this at bat in spring training goes, it probably would be more crowded if it was over the weekend. I know that's kind of how things go in spring training. Like people from LA or whatever take off the weekends and go see a couple games. It's harder to get out in the middle of the week. But at the same time, it is Ohtani, and we've seen the whole media frenzy that surrounds him. So I'm sure there might be more media than fans there for that game. Unfortunately, that's one day after I'm leaving. Like I told Blake, like, hey, let Ohtani know that Monday is the day, but they chose Tuesday, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as much as I know you jokingly, you say that in jest about telling Blake, hey, it needed to be Monday. Dave Roberts had sort of been saying since last week that Ohtani's debut was going to come, he kept saying middle of the week sometime next week, then middle of the week. What's funny is Ohtani did take live BP again today on a backfield at Camelback Ranch that coincidentally is closed off to media access. So this was one of the times that there wasn't any footage of him taking swings. I think some Japanese reporters said that he faced Joe Kelly and Jesse Hahn, and then Dave Roberts said he took a total of 3 at-bats. But while Dave Roberts was speaking with Blake and the rest of the media after today's game, he basically said, we'll know more about Ohtani's plan and maybe what's next tomorrow. And then about 15 minutes later, the Dodgers made the announcement on Twitter with a link to buy tickets to the game. And so, it's a business first, I guess, if you will. That's kind of another reminder. I thought that was kind of funny to see, like the social media side, the marketing, if you will, ticketing was sort of cued in a little bit more than Dave Roberts. And maybe Dave just didn't want to. We've already seen once where maybe he's spoken a little bit prematurely and fans got a little crazy with him. But yeah, that, again, that Ohtani would play on Tuesday was looking likely. And it makes sense, right? It's a home game for the Dodgers because Wednesday they're playing in surprise against the Rangers, and they're in Goodyear, I believe it is, on Thursday to play the Reds. Also, another hint maybe came from Freddie Freeman, who said he was back in the lineup today, Sunday, and he said that was going to be the start of playing 3 games in a row for him. And he said that he would be in the lineup for Ohtani's first game. So if you're kind of reading the tea leaves, it was lining up certainly to be Tuesday. But Daniel, the lineup now is going to it's sort of a subplot to all of this, specifically focusing on the first 3 spots in the order. What are you expecting to see?
I think first of all, you could go either way with Freddie and Ohtani in the 2-3 spots, and they're still going to score a ton of runs. So I think at the end of the day, like, it's fun to talk about, but it's probably not going to like matter all that much, like one way or the other. Like, you're getting two great hitters in both those spots. For me personally, I would go Freddie Freeman second, Ohtani third. I just think Freddie's a guy who gets on base at a really high rate, and Ohtani hits a lot of home runs. Like, Freddie's hits home runs as well, but he's more of like a 25 to 30 guy, and Ohtani could be 45 to 50. So I'd rather just see Mookie hit a leadoff home run, Freddie hit one of his classic doubles in the gap or a single, and then Ohtani hits a home run, and right there it's 3-0. So that would be my personal preference, but I don't think you could go wrong here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's what we're going to end up seeing, and Dave Roberts hasn't tipped his hand too much so far, other than to say that, Mookie Betts, I think he called him the safe bet, or the safest bet was with Mookie, who would be in the leadoff spot, which I think we all sort of anticipated. But I do agree with you that I think we're going to see Mookie, Freeman, Ohtani in that order. And if it doesn't work for whatever reason, the Dodgers can easily flip Freeman and Ohtani, and I don't think it would be an issue. Freeman flat out said himself that he doesn't care where he hits, and Dave Roberts said he echoed that and saying, in his conversations with the three players, that's been basically a prevailing theme. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. The Dodgers do have experience with this. Remember with Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman, there was some flipping back and forth.
I do think it's funny how they're keeping this, so tight to the chest, like trying to not reveal it as if like Tuesday's like opening day or something. Like Tuesday's a spring training game, and we're like 3 weeks away from opening day. Like, everyone's gonna know eventually, and it's also like, it's not like basketball where like there's strategy advantages by not revealing your starting lineup. Like, they're both gonna hit either way. You got to get them out, whether one's batting second and the other's batting third, or vice versa. But it is just crazy just to think that the Dodgers are going to have that top three in their order. I know it's like, I'm still kind of pinching myself over here. We saw the team score however many runs it was, I think like 300, most in franchise history last season, or like my number's off, but whatever it was the most. And I think they're going to top that this year easily, honestly.
Yeah, and maybe with spring training specifically, we end up seeing Ohtani leading off just to – I'm playing this in jest, but just maybe Dave will throw everybody a curveball, since people have been obviously curious about the lineup.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was
They're
cool.
cute like this. Oh yeah.
The jerseys are nice. I kind of like 434 homers.
Yeah.
How many? When he was on.
Right. Other way.
That's the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, he got a ball.
You got a ball.
What can you get out of this?
You could get Ohtani.
Ohtani, Judge.
Okay.
Here, give it back to him to open, though. Did you see it? Did you see it?
Oh my God, Ohtani! Oh my God! Oh my God, Ohtani!
Don't touch it.
Oh my God, Ohtani! Oh my God!
いかがだったでしょうか。現地の子供の反応を見ていると、大谷がスター選手であることがよくわかりますね。間もなく打者大谷が帰ってきます。まだオープン戦の調整段階なので、過度に期待するのはよくありませんが、MVP トリオとの絡みも含めて、今後の動向が楽しみですね。本チャンネルでは、日本人メジャーリーガーに関する現地ニュースを日本語字幕付きでお送りしています。よければ、チャンネル登録、高評価をよろしくお願いします。また次回の動画でお会いしましょう。